This week on Painted Plastic.
Hey everybody, Brandon back with some more Painted Plastic. Welcome to episode 4. That's right, we're doing some detail work. As you can see here on the bench in front of me, I've got a couple of pieces that I've done. Picking out a couple little details. These are the little greeblies we added. Also started on the shield. It's got the anchors all painted. Did a little work on the backpack. Right, just little details, right? Started on the beam rifle, but it's not quite done yet. It's gonna need at least one more coat probably. But anyway, so yeah, that's what we're gonna get into though in this episode. What will we need? We'll need some paints. I've got a couple here that I know we're gonna use. Some X10 gunmetal and X12 gold leaf, right? Pick out a few details with those. We'll need an assortment of paint brushes. I've got a couple different sizes, different shapes. And that's pretty much it. So give me 1 second to get all this stuff cleared out, and we will start with some details. Back in a minute. All right, and we're back. Gonna do some painting on these feet. As you can see, these are the little greeblies we added, right? And I just wanted to pick those 2 panels out. Just give it a little more detail. I know I said all we needed was a couple of paints and an assortment of brushes. That's not entirely true. We will also need a paper towel, which I'm going to keep off camera because it completely washes everything out. We are going to need something to clean brushes. I just use a bucket of, this is just regular old rubbing alcohol, right? The Tamiya paints, even though they are acrylic, they're actually an alcohol base. It's not a water base. So, you know, a little bucket of isopropyl alcohol. I think it's 91%. If it matters, I don't even think it matters. But I just use that to clean my brushes. I do have thinner somewhere. I do have a little bottle of thinner just to thin the paint if I need to. But for washing brushes, just use regular alcohol. It's cheaper. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is paint the gold. That way I can clean up any edges after the gold goes on. So we got our gold here, and with these metallics, guys, you really want to, give them a really good shake. Shake, 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 shake. Yeah, really shake them good. The metal flake will separate out, right? And really want to give them a good shake. And, you know, normally I would have a little palette. This is just a takeout lid, you know. I keep these just to put paint in. So yeah, normally I would have one of those. And for a little project like this, little spot paint, what I'll do is get my brush, first of all, right? This is just a fairly soft, round tip brush. Might be a little bigger than I need for this, but you know what, it'll be okay. So get a little paint, and over on my palette, just kind of dab it off. And working towards, the top of the piece, just really light strokes, get good base coat. You're not going to get all this in one coat. It will take 2 coats, absolutely. So, and then for the edge, just get as close as you can. It's kind of hard to film and paint. That's why I did a few of the other pieces off camera. Just because it's a little difficult to show you what I'm doing and do it right. Like I said, this is just a first coat. Not looking for full coverage. Just you know, liability. Little insurance joke there for you. Oh, and then throw it on the floor because that adds to the paint job. Yeah, so that's not too bad for a first coat. Went a little over, no big deal. That's why I wanted to do the gold first. But all in all, not a bad first coat, really. Normally the metallics, it'll take at least 2 good coats. And really you could thin down the metallics and they'd flow a lot better and, you know, just give you a little smoother coat. But honestly, as much weathering as this is going to get, I'm not all that worried about it. So, I should have had that open before I started. Just clean that gold out of the brush. I'll just give it a squidge on the paper towel. I do not do like Bob Ross says and beat the devil out of it. Alright. And so we'll give that just a few minutes to kind of tack off a little bit. You could put the hair dryer on it, but you know, it only takes this Tamiya stuff just a few seconds to dry. You see I got a big spot. I'm not worried about that. The next coat will cover all this stuff. It may take 3. We'll have to see what it looks like. But yeah, so give that about 10 minutes and we'll come back and do the rest. Be right back. Alright, so this has had about, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes to just kind of flash off a bit. I'm going to go in with the X10 gunmetal. Again, this is a metallic, so shake the living crap out of it. Really, I'd like to get, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the little paint stirrers, you know, the little battery operated. They're kind of neat. I might have to look at one of those one time. Alright, same thing, tiny little area, so I'm just going to get a little bit out of the lid. When I'm doing bigger spots, I'll pour paint, but you know, for right now, this is fine. Get a little bit on the brush. I did switch to a smaller brush, just because I want to get real tight on those little sides. But again, first coat is the first coat. Just get something on there. We'll tidy it up later. But you see, I'm trying to get as close to that edge as I can. And remember, when you're painting these, if you plan on weathering your model, you know, a lot of this stuff is going to disappear, especially the edges and the corners. And so, you know, if you're not weathering it, you need to really, really take your time. Really get those lines as crisp and clean as you can. But, you know, weathering hides a lot. I don't know if you'll see that. I kind of don't think you will. But you never know. So yeah, there you go. Alright, we'll give that about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that to just flash off, and we'll go back in with the second coats. Again, just clean my brush in alcohol. You see it takes it right off. Little wipey on the paper towel. There we go. Alright, 10 more minutes, 15 minutes. Be right back. Alright, so this has had about 15 minutes or so to dry, 20 minutes. All ready for a second coat. So, we get our gold again, give it another really good shake. Alright. And just like last time, brush, oh, right in front of me. Just like last time, I'm just going to dip a little out of the lid. Wipe off some of the excess over here. Alright. Just like before, working to the outside of the piece. Just nice, smooth, even strokes. Should cover all the little bumps from last time. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. I did try to get a better camera angle, but yeah, without it being directly in the way. All right. I think that's about got it for coat number 2. Like I said, sometimes you need 3 coats. Not always. Clean off my brush. Oh, yeah, one thing that reminds me, I just happened to look at the screen. Always put the lid back on your paint, everybody. Yeah, got done with the last part and left the gunmetal just sitting there open. Probably sat there, sat there for 15-20 minutes, however long it was. Yeah. So, always put the lid on your paint. Yeah. All right. So that's the gold. Second coat. I'm just going to go right in with the gunmetal. Try not to touch that gold. Give it a good shake. Yeah, try not to touch that gold. But it's such a small little area. I think we'll be all right. Got my smaller brush again. Get a little out of the lid. See if I can get in here where y'all can see. I apologize if I whack the camera or the microphone. Alright, get a little more paint. And there we have it. Coat number 2. That one actually looks pretty good. I will have to take a look at it when it dries and see if it needs anything else, but it looks pretty good. So, yeah, give me just a second. All right, so the other part I wanted to do was the ankle guard, right? And all I did was paint that gunmetal. Just wanted a little pop of something on there. After we weather all this, I will probably go back and dry brush a little chrome silver to try to bring some of that shine back. So, but that's later on. So now we're just gonna paint that gunmetal. Got my X10. Give it a good shake. All right. And again, I'm gonna use a slightly bigger brush, just because you know, it's a kind of a flat surface. Don't have a whole lot of angles. Wipe a little bit off on my. All right, so here we go. Hope that's in focus. All right. Grab a dab more paint. Well, yeah, just take your time when you're doing this kind of stuff, and you know, you'll get real good results. Alright, so we'll give that a couple minutes to dry. I said that a lot this episode. Give that a couple minutes to dry, but look how just adding that little bit of, looks like a old iron panel or something that had to get welded on, or who knows what the story is, you know, how it got there. Anyway, give this a couple minutes to dry. We'll do coat number 2, and then then we'll see where we are. Back in a minute. Alright, so it's been about 3 hours. I started editing this stuff together and lost track of the time, but anyway. I did do a second coat on this off camera, so I think it's going to be ready to go. These are all ready to go. Got a little bit more work to do on the beam saber, a little bit more work here and there, but for the most part, base coats are done. We can move on to the next episode, which will be gloss coat. We'll give all these a nice shiny gloss coat, protect all the work that we've done so far, and get ready for decals. That'll be the next step after the gloss. Yeah, so stay tuned for the next episode. I'm not sure if it'll be a midweek or what. Haven't really figured it out. But yeah, it's coming up. So until the next episode, thanks for hanging out.